Well, good morning. This is Secret Final Boss, and I'm progressing to the next step in the birth of my new YouTube channel, actual video. So now you can at least have a visual reference. Um, I am still experiencing quite a few technical difficulties, quite a few know-how deficiencies. For example, I have this lovely beast of a microphone right here, this Blue Yeti, and unfortunately, this is not actually what's recording me right now. What's recording me is that little Logitech webcam um, that I am looking at and pretending I'm looking at you. Although uh, and the microphone on it, I couldn't tell. I had to do a few tests to see which one was actually recording, and right now it's that thing, not this thing. And any advice on that would be very helpful. I am using Audacity, of course. So that's something I tried before. I guess what I'll do here is to announce what, if I can ever get this thing going properly, what the first game will be that I will play for a Let's Play series for you. And that is this. Yes, that's right. Pier Solar and the Great Architects for the Dreamcast. Yes, an actual commercial homebrew game, which I never thought I'd ever see, but and frankly, I never even heard of this game until earlier this year after I got my Wii U. It was apparently big in Europe, which is why I never heard of it. It was, in fact, I can't remember offhand if it was actually out in Japan as well, but I certainly don't remember it. I mean, I was certainly playing during the Sega CD / PC Engine CD-ROM era. I played Lunar and Vi, two Working Designs games. I put them on the map. What's that doing? Am I sitting straight? I might as well show you this now if I can maybe probably already tell. My perspective's all screwed up. Let's see here. Let's see if I don't try not to make you too dizzy. Yeah. It's a wheelchair there. All right. 4:19 in the morning. Took me this long to decide how I'm going to do this. Yes, I know this is thrilling television right now. I am calling this a gaming channel, and that is what I want to do with this, but like I put in a description somewhere, there's several other things I'd like to do. And I just downloaded a video editor a little while ago. It's not Adobe, and that's probably just as well. I don't exactly have the hundreds of dollars it would take to shell out to get it. And what I have is probably not as full featured, but that's fine. I am literally a neophyte, a total noob when it comes to video editing, so I'm going to have to be learning as I go. And obviously, this thing you're watching right now is just going to be one take. What else can I tell you? I'm located. I'm in the United States. I'm in Texas. In fact, I am very close to the Mexican border. And I am in this 4-county region in the southernmost part of the state called the Rio Grande Valley. It's a region you don't hear about very much. maybe right now you're hearing about it a little more, but usually you don't hear about it. I was along with gaming, I'm also a big anime fan, and I discovered anime in the beginning of '93. I say discovered because it was all around me in the video games I was playing, and even some of the cartoons I saw growing up. But I didn't put two and two together. Um, I think the most I ever came to the conclusion of after I played a couple of the Valis games in '91, I thought, oh my, this is coming out of Japan. They got to have whole cartoons like this. And of course, I was right. Um, I helped to start this area's first anime club uh, at the University of Texas Pan American, which just renamed itself to the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. A friend of mine and I successfully got that started in '93 at a time when, outside of a very select few group of individuals and one particular comic shop, anime was an unknown. No one got it. If you try to bring it up, the only thing they could think of is Speed Racer. But since now it's a completely different story. That club inspired the forming of at least two other clubs that I know of. Another college club and one of them a high school club in a very rural area. Um, and one thing I have to do, I still have this huge VHS collection I need to get digitally archived, but I'll get off of that. I've been gaming for a very long time. Like I said last time, I was actually gaming started just before the big crash in '83. My dad got me into it in 1982. He was a league bowler, and of course, what do bowling alleys have? Arcade games. And I was pretty young, and my mom had to work nights on his particular bowling night, so he had to take me with him, and he just plunked me. Just took me out of my wheelchair, plunked me in front of a Space Invaders machine, put a quarter in, and go. And I haven't looked back since. So he was a big gamer in the '70s. If I don't think anyone now remembers the word Vidiot. I don't think it was a derogatory term necessarily, but that was a word sometimes used to describe the harder core arcade gamers. It wasn't a word he ever really heard or heard about himself. Certainly didn't use it. But I'm a second generation gamer. That's about as early as you could be a second generation gamer. In fact, my Atari, my first console, the Atari 2600 wasn't the actual Atari brand console. It was the rare Sears Telegames clone that was sold only in 1983, and not for very long because the market was already falling out the model was already falling out of the market, so it wasn't a profitable thing for Sears to do for very long. But that's the window we got in on it. 4 years later, that's when I got the NES. Then I gave the Atari to a younger cousin, and shortly after he got it, the thing fried itself. I didn't know what happened. Felt bad for my cousin. And let's see, got a Genesis 3 years after that, and a Super Nintendo, blah 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 blah. Okay, basically, I have a lot of consoles, a lot of games. I almost never sell things off. I'm a hoarder in that regard. Or I prefer to use the word collector in this case. And I'll just fast forward a whole lot of time here. Like I said, the last thing, 2012, so I really discovered the YouTube gaming channels or the gaming shows. Not in 2012. I guess I wasn't really looking for it. I did see some long plays. It was either the type of show that JonTron was, where it's a review and kind of a skit, or it was just a playthrough with no commentary, just straight through. The let's plays where you have someone talking, either just audio or in the corner of the screen. I wasn't aware of that yet. Not until almost 2 years ago, when uh, I was my health was in a pretty piss poor state, and I was receiving home health care. I was having to sleep in a rented hospital bed, and I think it was about February, March of 2014, and I was browsing the web, and I just come across the Earthbound abortion theory. Uh, I shouldn't need to explain that, but I beat Earthbound in 1999. Uh, I I never even noticed that pattern during the Gygas battle in the negative space there. I never noticed it. Now I think in like 2005 I was doing an image search, and I saw like a thumbnail with that image of the outline of the baby pointed out, and my reaction was, "Oh, how about that?" It just didn't dawn on me how what the fuck the state of WTF that really was. And then in 2014, that's what well, I was on a lot of medication, and basically I found that out what it potentially was. I wasn't feeling very good about myself for a couple of days. Uh, I was just down. Thankfully, that's why I found game theory, a couple other things, and discussed it, and came to the conclusion that really what that's not really what was happening. What was happening was that it was a demonstration of Gygas's mental state. And I got over myself and moved on. But that's when I started really concealing um, Let's Plays, YouTube, gaming shows. Um, I won't go down the list again. I mentioned them last time. Oh yes, I got this baby to help me do some of the VHS archiving, some of which I have done. Yeah, dazzle, at least dabble with things, and I'm I'm guessing I will have to do is to plug my Dreamcast into this, or there's some better way to do it. Like I said, anyone watching this and can uh, offer any helpful advice, suggestions, please just leave something in the comments below. Oh yes. Excuse me a minute. Need a Sharpie. This will work. Yeah. bear with me, people. I didn't plan this out right. For those of you who've been talking to me on Twitter, or at least seen me, and wondering what the fuck is that word that is his username. Let's see here. Make sure the glare is not just overpowering. Stilarami. That's how you pronounce that. It's the name of, well, character is not quite the right. I guess technically it is a character. Um, a character that I invented for this absolute beast of, I guess you'd call it a fanfic that I started doing something with back in '89 as a reaction to how disappointed I was when I first saw the premiere of the Saturday morning cartoon Captain N, the Game Master. It's a show that actually got some things right, but a lot of things wrong. And I thought, oh, I'll go ahead and fix that. Hubris. What did I know, right? Well, one of these days, I hope to impose upon the planet my two stories, which are actually one. I won't go into it any other way, but just Stilarami has something to do with it. Yeah. Acting! Thank you. Okay. I don't know if I can get her in the shot, but you've heard me mention her. Spaggy, the mean cat. Let me tell you about Spaggy. What? Just a bit. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I saw someone back there. Dad, waking up. No, he's alright. One thing I didn't expect the first time I began when I began recording the first thing I posted was the silence in the room. I mean, this is no studio, but the silence was deafening, as you heard that expression, I'm sure. Prepare for a little disorientation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let's see now. Oh, there she is. See if I get her attention. Hey, Spaggy. I adopted her from shelter November 2012. When she was about 5 months old. And at the shelter, her name was Spaghetti. It was a little too corny for me, and I wanted to shorten it to 2 syllables. So I went with Spaggy. It's a name I've never heard before. So I took to it right away, and since then, she has actually learned her own name. So she does respond to it when I call her name, amazingly. Yeah, good. You're purring. Yeah, you're happy, aren't you? Yeah, you're happy. Yeah. She is. This may be something everyone says about their cat, but I mean, Spaggy really is a very intelligent cat. I was going through my health ordeals. Earlier, we had to actually have one of my relatives take care of her. Corpus Christi, about 150 miles away, and I was worried that she was gone for 4 or 5 months. I was worried she wouldn't remember when she got back, but she certainly did. And my aunt was also taking care of several other cats, and she was on the verge of becoming the alpha. All right, enough of that. This travesty has gone on long enough. So, I'll spare you any further grief. Oh, I see you there. Yeah. So, uh, have a good rest of your day.